Yeah, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to the Most High Power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash, Rakati Yahweh, Rakati Yahweh Shai, Babgusha, 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 Tapulath Yeshamai Da, Abanawa Shabah Shamayam, Awashanawa Mayan Rai, Lai, Walam Yam, Tawara, Tawabaman, which translates to our Father which art in heaven, deliver us from evil forever. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to all the Archeum out there that's pushing the truth in sincerity and charity with humiliations all across the four winds. And to the sincere brothers that's constantly enduring and making their calling of election sure. To you I salute. This is the brother Yahshua from the GMS Bahamas camp. Back at you with a brief spiritual hydration. Now, I'm going to entitle this lesson Haste Make Waste. Right? That was a saying that my earthly father used to tell me, from my youth growing up. Haste makes waste. And now I want to filter that through the scriptures. Because according to scripture, hasty contention kindleth strife. Right? And we have to be mindful, especially in these days and times, of our decisions. A hasty decision could cost you a life. A hasty decision could cost you your life. And we always have to remain circumspect in this truth. James 1:19 says, "Wherefore, brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath." Why? Because the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of Yahweh. So we have to be quick to listen, but slow to speak and slow to angry, slow to wrath. And we understand, that being wrathful isn't being mad at something. Being wrathful is when you're angry and you act on that anger. All right. So you want to bring out a quick precept here. In Proverbs 29, start at verse 20. It says, "Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope of a fool than of him." You see that? It ties right back in with James 1:19. Slow to speak and slow to wrath. But it says here, if a man that is hasty, a man that's hasty in his words, there's more hope of a fool than him. So there's more hope for a fool than a man who is hasty in his words. That also goes for your decisions. Because when you think of it, if you quick to make a decision on something before you ponder the consequences or before you ponder what's what, you may perish unless the Most High guiding your thoughts and guiding your words, because all things are of His will. And a lot of times, decisions are made through pride. You don't want to see him. You don't want to see him low, or you don't want to see him, uneducated, as the world would call it. You see? It says that here, let's jump down to verse 23. It says, "A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit." Right? Your pride will cause you to be brought low. Only through humility, would uplift your spirit. So again, we have to bear in mind that not all decisions should be made on the fly. Not all decisions should be made swiftly. These things have to be thought out. When we liken it unto the game of chess, sometimes when you play in the game of chess, it takes a long time for a decision to be made. Shit, even in checkers, when you think about it, chess and checkers is different games played on the same board. Same thing like in the life what we live in now, with all different walks of life. Some people playing chess, some people playing checkers, but all of us all of us are given the same 24 hours, all of us given the same, Yeah, let's bring out another scripture. Because All these things we have to take our time. Yeah. Sit and ponder and pray to the Most High to help you make the decisions you need to make. To help you to make the decisions that would help you grow spiritually. Let's bring up this next precept what I have here. It's the book of Ecclesiastes 5 and 2. It says, "Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before Yahweh. For the other one is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few." You see? Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before Yahweh. So be careful. Be careful what you ask the Most High for. Be careful what you utter or speak unto the Most High. Because he is in heaven, he seeth all things. He see it the past, he see it the present, and he see it the future and beyond that. And that's who on earth we only could remember the past. We only could live in the present, and we could only hope for the future. So that's why we have to be careful of the things that we ask for, be careful of the things that we utter. Because he knoweth all things. Verse 3, "For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words." Can. See that? For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, through your works. So when you ask for something, when you work for it, then it will come through. Just through your works. But a fool's voice is known by multitude of words. Constantly talking. Constantly talking. Never shutting up. Always got something to say. You have people out there who always have something negative to say. Who always have something to say.
Hey, listen!
There's always somebody out there like that. But remember in Proverbs, it says, "Be not hasty." I can bring on one more precept here. It's flowing in the spirit, Ecclesiastes 7 and 9. "Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosoms of fools." God ties right back in with James 1 and 19. "Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of Yahweh." Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry. Ecclesiastes 7 and 9. "Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger rested in the bosoms of fools." You see? And verse 10, you can liken that even unto now. "Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this." That's like when Moses was bringing the nation of Israel out of the land of Egypt. They remember the days in Egypt were better than the days that they in. But they were fools when they were saying that. They wasn't inquiring wisely concerning that. You see, because the Most High saw what was going on, and he knew why he did what he did. Even now, people saying, with the C19 going on, before it, life was better. But what they don't realize, before this, they were just going through life willy-nilly, not without a care in the world. When this came along, people had to wait and stop. And they couldn't have been hasty no more. They had to actually ponder as to what they're going to do. You have a lot of people contemplating what are their achievements in life, what are their goals. Even us in this truth, we had time to slow down and actually look at the grander scope of things and figure out, what more can I do to please the Most High? It was no longer being able to go where we want to go freely. No, we couldn't do that anymore. We had to pick and be precise as to what we wanted to do. You see? Many times, ain't none of us perfect, man. Many times we make decisions hastily. Many times we often get angry. We get mad. But do we act on it? No. We shouldn't. Because we know better. The scripture tells us, "Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger rested in the bosoms of fools." And you don't want anger to be resting in your bosom. No. You want wisdom to be there. You know, wisdom gives you that sweet feeling resting in your bosoms. Let's bring up one more piece up here. It's a rock. Gun. Right here. It's a rock 4 and 29. It says, be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss. Don't be quick to talk, you know. You have plenty of people over there who quick to make promises. You see, they quick to speak and give praises and to make promises. And then when it comes down to it, they can't fulfill it. So that means in their deeds they slack and remiss. And scripture tells you it's better not to vow a vow and not be able to keep it. It's better you didn't make that promise. You see? Verse 28 says, when we jump up, strive for the truth unto death, and the Most High shall fight for thee. So we have to be cautious in the things what we doing, man. You gotta be very cautious and ponder on these things before we act. Like the old saying, like my old man used to teach me from my youth growing up. Haste makes waste. With that, I say Shalom. Kwame Asherallah. All praises to the Most High Power, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Makar, Kadash, Shalom, Akim. Shalom.